January 24th, 2023. GRE report on the state of the epidemic. I'm sorry to report that infection numbers are going up, not down. The mortality rate in Europe has increased from 45,000 cases per week to 320,000. In Ukraine and Poland, the number of cases has increased by 400% each week. In Russia and Spain, healthcare systems are completely overwhelmed. Despite the mobilization of the military and the closure of borders, despite implementing containment measures in the 20 most impacted cities, the protocol is failing us. We now have to face the facts and admit that nowhere is safe. Russia's military has begun a campaign of genocide against those even suspected of infection. It pains me to say what follows, but there is little hope of survival for most of the world's current population. Thus, we at the GRE must pivot. Look at the bigger picture to prevent mankind's extinction. Speed up our actions. Time is short. We must centralize resources and start operating at the very heart of events. Enhance our efforts to bring humanity a cure. Start making immediate decisions. But also, and my voice trembles when I say this, radical ones. "11 months have passed since we arrived in Villador. With us are the leaders of 6 major European countries and their combined militaries. The Council of Mankind. April 13th, 2024. GRE report on the state of the epidemic. The report is about Villador, the last major city left in the world. All others have fallen. This city is humanity's last hope. The Council of Mankind is doing its best to protect the city as the GRE studies THV in controlled circumstances. The protocol. Unrest among the citizens is growing as thousands of immigrants gather outside the walls. The military safeguards the border, but some leaders are worried the situation might escalate. Inside, crime is on the rise as supplies grow scarce. Civilians have started to form militia groups, patrolling the streets with guns. General Pratt ordered them to disband and confiscated all privately owned weapons. This led to many protests all over the city, attended by thousands. At one gathering, the military opened fire. 64 civilians were killed. People call it the March Massacre. I have reason to believe we are on a downward spiral now. I've never been religious. But if there's a God, then this virus is the devil. And we are in hell.
Captain Posner to Colonel Williams. Status report for Monday, February 10th, 2025. Major Jack Matt's rebellion is gaining momentum. A large number of soldiers have deserted and joined him. They think that you intentionally neglected to inform Matt of the evacuation and left his squad to die. They don't know that Matt, according to my investigation, ignored the order and is responsible for the tragedy himself. And he certainly doesn't want anyone to know about it. Needless to say, the civilians hate us. The attacks are led by Juan Rayner, who has named his group the Revolutionary Committee. Rayner and Matt are joining forces more and more. The ongoing fights can already be described as a civil war. Old Villador has become their main arena. We have already lost a lot of good men. The morale of the others has bottomed out. They have to fight against men who were, until recently, their brothers. You're right. The only way to stop this is to put Matt down as quickly as possible. I'm on his trail.
You should have pushed it.
At the age of 23, I became a priest. Still just a snot-nosed kid, and I was supposed to be a shepherd of souls. I felt I was meant for this. I had answered the call. If God was with me, then who could be against me? I was full of conviction, faith that I could make the world a better place. But the world had other plans. Many times, I performed someone's last rites. I held their hands as they died. And in that last moment, in the millisecond before their last breath, I saw in them relief. Not because they were moving on to some kind of better world, to heaven, but because it was the end of something painful. They could finally bow out of the futile and exhausting dance of life. Their chore of living would be over. Their suffering would end. It was something completely incomprehensible to me. How can a person reject the gift of life? To accept death joyfully. For a person as strong as me, this was something very disturbing. Or maybe they knew about something that I had not seen. Did they see it in their last moment? This was the first crack in the edifice of my faith. And then, the epidemic started. There's a term for what came next. A crisis of faith. And with me, it started long before the epidemic. But when people started to turn into monsters, when city after city was eaten by darkness and poison, I started to wonder, where is God? Is he putting us through a trial? Or has he abandoned us? When Black Monday came, I no longer had any doubts. There is no God. There never was. Because of the THV Genmod bombings, 2 million people lost their lives. The streets carpeted with human corpses. What God would allow that? He would have to be infinitely cruel. Of course, other so-called men of the cloth offered nonsensical observations. That this was the will of God. Punishment for our wickedness. That Colonel Williams himself served as the hand of God. But that didn't matter anymore. The curtain had been torn off. People lost their faith. Because what were they supposed to believe in? No one wanted a God like that. And in that moment, to my own surprise, I felt free. As if I were a puppet who finally cut the strings that controlled him since birth. Free at last. How's it going in there, little Alice? Still dark, I'm guessing. Believe me, you're better off in there than out here. I got special orders now. We're supposed to monitor people's temperature, isolate them if they're hot. They're building these checkpoints throughout the city. Command keeps saying it'll all be okay. And that's what I tell people out there. But I don't know if I believe it myself.
How could it be okay? There's a cover-up going on. They faked the data about the virus's spread.
Don't go down that rabbit hole, honey. You'll get yourself worked up again.
I suppose you're right. Okay. I think I'll go and lie down for a while.
And what your mom really needs is a night out. Maybe a nice dinner. But everything's closed. People had work one day, none the next. It's gotten real tough out there. Even as a cop, I understand why people are taking to the streets. I'm trying to stay afloat, me and your mom. Not to expose ourselves, or, above all, you. I think I'd go crazy if something happened to you. And your mom, she's so stressed out. I sing, "You are my sunshine," to cheer her up. Because she is my sunshine. And you'll be our shining star. And together, you and your mom will drive away the shadows. That I have faith in. 2 months until your arrival. We'll be all right, little Alice.
My name is Anton Novak, and I'll be a fucking legend! Sorry. I couldn't help myself. I'm recording this for you, Pops. You want to hear a secret? When you do, I bet you'll be ashamed of yourself. All my life, You told me I wouldn't amount to anything. But then I became a PK. What'd you do? Called me a traitor. And Dad explained that the PK don't give a shit about us, the people of the bazaar. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Pops. There ain't no one I don't give a rat's ass about, Pops. I'll show you what I'm made of. Today, some guy I didn't recognize approached me. Said if I was looking to be a hero, I was looking in the wrong place. And that I have potential. I never heard that from you. Said to meet him on the roof of the old textile factory at midnight. And here I am. Like an idiot. What am I doing here? Maybe I wanted to show you. I wanted you to see. Oh shit! What the? Dude's jumping between buildings like a fucking panther. Fuck! I can't let him find me.
Come on out, kid. Enough.
Who does Frank think he is? One minute he talks about my potential, the next he accuses me of reckless behavior. Says that I put others in danger. Back at the dark zone after we pulled that mother and her kids out. Fuck! We pulled it off, didn't we? What's so reckless about success? He spewed some line at me about how he's worried my metabolism isn't handling the shots as well as he thought it would. Can you believe this crap, Pops? My test results were always perfect. If you ask me, it says more about him than about me. He just can't bear someone standing up to him, especially not a young kid. Oh, and check this out. I was put on notice. He'd be watching me, he said. Fuck him. I'll give him something to watch.
Tell me, Pilgrim, do these ancient walls not whisper their sacred history into your very ears? St. Paul's Cathedral is, along with Orla Castle, the oldest building in the city. It originated in 1010 as a Christian church that was built on the site of a former pagan temple. Subsequent work continued to expand the church, which became a cathedral in 1207. Its catacombs host many holy relics, including a toe from the left foot of St. Paul. This made the cathedral a popular Christian pilgrimage destination. In 1444, another relic, a finger from the apostle to the Gentiles, was stolen. Eventually, the cathedral's popularity began to wane, until it acquired a molar of St. Paul's. The cathedral briefly regained its status, only to see its pilgrimages decline steadily once more. Finally, after a 100-year period, the finger of St. Paul was recovered, and the cathedral was again able to attract thousands of faithful. Horseshoe is the oldest part of the city, with some buildings dating back to the 15th century. Its name comes from the shape of the walls that bordered it in the 17th century. The district is also home to the Water Tower, formerly the Bell Tower, built out of a military outpost. Its small, winding streets bear odd names whose origins have faded with history. It's the home of the last craftsmen's workshops and antique stores, the spirit of a bygone era. The greatest poets sought inspiration in Horseshoe, and their souls soar above its rooftops still. Perhaps, brave traveler, you too will find inspiration here. Today, Horseshoe is a favorite meeting spot, especially for lovers. I, myself, once met a match from a dating app there whose bio said he was a 30-year-old dolphin trainer with the body of a Greek god. Unfortunately, the man who appeared was a 50-year-old vacuum cleaner salesman who brought his mother along. The date was a bust, but at least I was able to buy the latest turbo duster model at a killer price. Orla Castle was erected in 1115 on a wooded hill. It became part of fortifications meant to protect the inhabitants of Villador from the Vikings, who would invade by way of the river Tursawa. The castle survived not only the Scandinavian warriors' attacks, but also fires, plagues, and the world wars. It is as solid and stubborn as the inhabitants of Villador themselves. Today, Orla Castle is one of Villador's prime tourist attractions, which each year draws in thousands of visitors. Who amongst us has not wanted to feel, just for a moment, like a brave knight or beautiful princess? Still stirring up emotions are the dungeons, where they imprison the most dangerous rogues of their day. In all the dungeon's centuries of use, only one person managed to escape: Andrew Sarapatha. This seemingly docile accountant was sentenced to 15 years of prison for tax fraud. He had, however, one extraordinary talent. He could talk people to death, sometimes literally. Thanks to his unbearably wooden and dull tales, he was able to neutralize guard after guard and calmly walk out of the prison. What became of Andrew Sarapatha remains a mystery to this day.
They harm me, you know. Dave, whose legs I watch get torn off by a volatile. Edgar, all of them. But the real pest is Ravik. I was pissed when he took Akon's side, but then the bastard showed up anyway. Stupid kid. Let's talk about something else. Yeah. So, been thinking. Maybe it's time I joined you, you know, huh?
Frank, lay off the bottle. You reek.
It's just past 8, June the 14th, 2022, and you're listening to Villador News. On Tuesday, we witnessed the beginning of a mass exodus, the largest in human history. Governments are paralyzed and the GRE have fallen silent. People have lost hope. Hundreds of thousands of refugees from Gibraltar to Istanbul have gone looking for new homes. Their only wish: safety for themselves and their families. But this is a global catastrophe, not confined to Europe. Martial law in America is aggravating a country already in chaos over fuel rationing. Japan, hit by a variant of the THV, has been decimated. And here, across Europe, borders are quickly closing. Why does the GRE remain silent while so many voices cry out for help?
We have no means of travel, except our own feet. I can't go on much longer. But if we stop, we die.
We drove 800 kilometers, but they told us to turn back. Back to where? Might as well start digging our graves right here.
They attacked my mother the moment we arrived. Just pushed her out of the window. I blame the GRE for this madness.
They turned their back on us the moment they let the virus leak from their labs. Turned their backs, so we could not see the money changing hands to pay for covering this all up. For Villador News, this is Clarissa Mortimer.
This message is sponsored by the government and approved by the GRE. Do you want to beat the virus? Do you want to save humanity? It's simple. Have more sex. This is the easiest and by far the most enjoyable way for mankind to survive. Have you done it 5 times this week already? Why not go for 15? Sex also has a positive effect on your overall health. It improves blood circulation along with your physical and mental abilities. We highly recommend the missionary position, as well as the posterior knee-elbow position. Gentlemen, improve the quality of your semen. Eat more spinach, broccoli, and eggs. For protein, insects are a must. Give birth to a beautiful new life. Let's make love and let's save humanity together.
Tuesday, the 17th of July, 2023. We hereby begin the 17th session of the Council of Mankind. As you are all aware, the global situation is degrading rapidly. We have several reports confirming Pakistan did indeed drop a nuclear bomb on the Indian region of Jammu. Entire countries are being declared lost to the virus. Hungary, Croatia, Portugal, Austria, Finland, and the British Prime Minister died of THV last week. Ladies and gentlemen, we must face the facts. It is the responsibility of those of us in this room to start a new chapter for humankind.
As history shows, it would not be the first time that international cooperation pulled the world from crisis.
You are in a fine mood today, Minister Duncan.
General Pratt, we would like to hear your report now.
At once, Monsieur Dakar. Agricultural facilities and warehouses are being seized, and the main distribution hub is being managed by the GRE under the watchful eye of the Army. The Army's cooperation with the GRE has so far been exemplary.
I concur.
Thank you, Dr. Kobayashi. We control the streets and checkpoints in the area. We've secured electrical substations and water towers. Despite initial opposition from workers, we finally managed to convert the former Dynamo Cars, the electric car factory, into a solar power plant.
Now, please, Dr. Kobayashi, we would like to hear the progress on the GRE initiatives.
Thank you. The first tests of the THV GenMod compound were successful. It shows unparalleled chemical stability, and its ability to degrade the DNA of infected cells is remarkable. We may finally have a key weapon against the virus within reach.
No time to delay, Dr. Kobayashi. Please, provide samples to the Army. We'll do our own tests.
It's too soon for that. Research takes time.
I submit a motion for the GRE to provide the Army with THV GenMod samples and submit to military supervision over the GRE itself.
General Pratt, history shows rushing science leads to catastrophe. There are people who...
General Pratt is right, Dr. Kobayashi. Extreme situations call for extreme measures. I accept the motion for the handover of the current GenMod component samples to Army Research Labs. Dr. Kobayashi, you will help General Pratt move forward with a weapon concept using your compound as a basis. Who is for? Thank you. Who is against? Thank you. Who abstains? Thank you. The motion has been passed by 5 to 3 votes. Dr. Kobayashi, please begin the necessary procedures.
Report 24-2036, 130th day of the year. It's been 6 months since the funds ran out. 20 since any improvement has been seen. Patient unconscious. After administering the compound, blood pressure increased slightly. Noticeable pupil movement. The only chance for progress is to go back to X-13. If the information can be confirmed, and the GRE key has been found by Commander Lucas, there is a chance to further this research. It must succeed at all costs. Report 13-2036, 105th day of the year. Funds gone. An attempt to recreate the compound. Still unsuccessful. Patients react with uncontrollable aggression. Increasing psychophysical abilities. As I no longer have test subjects, I am testing the compound on myself.
Report 20-2036, 126th day of the year. An old Villador informant has reported that Commander Lucas has found it. He has found the GRE key. This means that it is possible to enter X-13 again. I've sent a reconnaissance team under Dillon's command to the old Villador subway station. I am waiting for a report.
Generators activated. Only got the antenna left.
Cool. Listen, Brasco, I know Sierra's death hit you hard. I just want you to know, you can always count on me, man. Brasco! Did you trip on something? Man, you didn't fall into that fucking pit, did ya? He slept. Who the fuck are you? I told him to be careful. Didn't even have time to thank him for activating the generators. Or... Fuck! Base! Reinforcements! The renegades took over the radio station! I'm near the exit! Fuck! I'm surrounded! Fuck off! Let me go! Hey! This radio of yours work? I'm talking to you, PK scum! This radio station is now property of the renegades. How about we hear a show for you, huh? Here, listen to our latest jingle. Little Ron the base? The exit downstairs is jammed, so we're gonna try and find a way out at the top. Sierra and I found Private Kitty in the lobby on the lowest level. Oh, what's that stink? Kitty, did you just fart? Is that how happy you are to see us? What? No, I didn't. Ha! We missed you, punk. Did you hear that? We better get our asses out of here. Admit it, Sierra, you're the one who farted and tried to blame me.
Ah! Did you? What the fuck was that? I don't care! To the stairs! Base, there's a swarm of fighters chasing us. We lost Kitty in the lobby. Run! I'm on the second floor. I'll one down from you, right by the door. I'll be right up. Ah! Run! Keep going, Sierra! There's fucking many of them! You coming? Run! Are you up here? Run! Is that you? No! No! Ah! Ah!
Don't you find it strange that a group of Bizarrians wants to hand us over an injured PK in a place like this?
Take it easy, Auntie.
Chris, behind you! How many times do I have to tell you? Don't call me Auntie! Private First Class Bartez isn't pressing enough!
Sure thing, Auntie.
Chris, watch out! There's too many of them! Let's go up, Chris! Up! Say hello to Jack and Joe!
Bartez! Bartez! What happened?
She took down 7 Cheeks, but it wasn't...
She's dead, Chris. More Duke's coming our way. We gotta withdraw.
I'm staying put, Fishbowski.
Chris, Bartez didn't save your ass so that you can get yourself killed. Let's go! Come on. Nemechek. Lieutenant Rowe, with all due respect, but Nemechek was a disgrace.
Don't talk like that about the dead, Wierzbowski. We officers are taught that when a PK is sloppy, you have to harden them. And that day, when Nemechek overslept for maneuvers, I sent him to the old brickyard for a night shift.
Knowing he could die.
Yeah, Chris. And I couldn't fall asleep that night. At 4 o'clock, I ran to get him. But it was too late. I left him on his own, and I've never been able to forgive myself. Now you understand why I train my unit differently from others.
Well, first your brother,